10 News Conference continues with the Republican running for General Treasurer, James Lathrop. Nice to have you in studio, Mr. Lathrop.
Well, thank you for having me.
Let's get right to it. You've been in politics. In fact, right now you're in North Kingstown. You're also on the board of a bank. Just give me the quick sketch what you're doing right now.
So I'm the finance director for North Kingstown. I've been there about 5.5 years. I am a corporator at Centerville Bank, and I've been finance director for other communities in Rhode Island and Connecticut. And prior to that, I'm a CPA, had a practice in Connecticut and own several businesses out there.
So I've asked you if you're qualified to be treasurer. The answer would be yes.
Oh, yes.
You're a money man, a numbers man.
Yes.
Are you willing to take that to James Diosa, the Democrat? Are you going to go hard on him? He was a mayor, and in his defense, he ran budgets, and he was handed Central Falls cleanly, and he didn't screw it up. So how do you distinguish that?
Well, his budget was $16 million. North Kingstown's $125 million. With capital, we get close to $200 million. I've handled pensions. I was the finance director for the City of New London. There's a big difference between someone who's running what I handle in a couple weeks as opposed to someone who handles the large dollars. And my work has been, recognized. Providence Business News, CFO of the Year, RIPAC Goodrich recipient for Distinguished Public Service. This is what I do. I'm not a politician. You'll see that in me at times. It's my first real run. It's also going to be my last run. My wife has told me that I can't become a politician. I'm a finance guy. This is the job I aspire to. It's not my next job. This isn't a consolation prize because I didn't become lieutenant governor. This is what I want to be. And I can, when I get elected, first day, I know exactly what needs to be done.
Okay, well, interesting. You're piquing my interest now. So what would you do? 2 terms and done?
Yeah.
Well, it would have to be, but would you run for a second term?
Yes.
You would?
Yes.
And after that, you'd have no interest in higher office?
Nope. See me in East Matunic. I'll either be on the beach or the golf course.
Why the importance of running then? Why do you want in there now? Do you see something broken?
I do. I see what the office has become, that it's really just a stepping stone for politicians. I think there's the COLAs, the way they manage it, I think it's really done poorly. The investments are done poorly. And I'm the type of person that, sure, I'll complain, but I also, if you're going to complain, you need to step up.
Right.
And that's what I decided to do. This was an opportunity in life and what I want to do. And I got a lot of encouragement from people that, you should do this. And so I did it.
Okay, all right. Constitutionally, the duties are limited.
Yes.
Do you object to that? Because the other Democrat running, Stephen Pryor, said, well, I'd like to look at pushing to lower taxes. I'd like to do this. And other candidates have done that too. They say, yeah, it's a start. There are other things I'd like to do with the office. Are you satisfied with the limits of the office?
I am, because it's so important what the office does. It needs to have a focus. When you start expanding that focus, you forget about your primary needs and your core duties. And our core duty is to manage the pension fund, to manage the cash flow, and a few other small programs that the Treasurer's Office done. But we're still talking billions of dollars. There's almost $11 billion in the pension, plus the billions that run through that office. You need to have some focus on the job and not all the other ancillary items.
Right. Well, when you invest that pension money, we want to make money. We want to make more money. Do you see an opportunity there? Do you think we're making enough money?
Actually, I do. I think they're doing a good job, but I think it's about the transparency and how they invest and what they invest and what type of risk they take. I signed a transparency pledge, which was picked up by Forbes magazine as an example of what government should be doing. Every politician will tell you, I want transparency, but they won't define what it is. And that's what that pledge does, is exactly what transparency means in the Treasurer's Office.
And what about the COLAs? Now, these are the state retirees, took a real haircut. They've been screaming and yelling. Some of them say, I'd like to have the COLA restored before, while I'm alive.
Yep.
Right? Not when it reaches 80%, and then that could be years away.
Well, I think on the state employees, they have a little bit more difficulty, but what they have done is there's actually multiple pensions that the state manages: municipal employees, teachers, state workers. And if you look at the audit report issued by the Auditor General, Dennis Howell, this year, municipal employees, our funds are over the 80%. Just because all of them combined are at 70%. Right. Why aren't the municipal employees getting their COLAs, since the towns did exactly what they wanted? The structural problem is really with the state. And again, the state is going back to the municipalities and asking them to bail them out. That's wrong.
Your Democrat challenger, Mayor Diosa, he said I would give them a stipend. Let's listen to this, then you can tell me. Play that cut number 2 on the stipend.
I travel around the state and I talk to a lot of retirees who some are on food stamps because of high inflation. They're not able to stretch the monthly dollars that they get from the state. And so I want to look at a stipend with the focus of ensuring that we meet that 2030 to 2031 mark of restoring the pension fund to a 80% so that the COLAs can come back in.
Can you offer them a better deal?
Yes.
What is it?
I bring back full COLAs. I really believe using a little bit of work and how they do the actuarial studies, we can bring back the full COLAs in a couple years for everybody. And I also want to note that with the surpluses, the governor had a chance to bring back stipends this year, and he said, no, I'll catch you next year. I mean, pushing the can down the street, you know, it's just wrong. It's disrespectful to the people who have served so long. And Mr. Diosa doesn't realize that, again, you had mentioned the Treasurer's Office has no real authority on those type of things. It still needs to be legislative action. And just because he wants it and may stump for it, the idea is how are we going to get the legislators to pass it?
Now, you said you're not a politician, but you'll have to go rough. This is a tough game. And I asked Mayor Diosa, has he ever purchased stock? Does he have a 401k? Does he have an IRA? Let's listen to that, and then you can respond. I assume you've purchased stocks.
Yes.
Mayor, do you own any stock? Do you buy and sell stock
No,
yourself?
I do not.
Do you have mutual funds?
No.
No. Do you have 401k?
No.
No. So you have no investments?
I have my pension is currently with the state from my
a state
time as
pension.
mayor. Yes.
Okay. Well, he has his money in the state pension. I guess he'll watch over it. But what am I to make of that?
Well, that's a perfect example of why he's not qualified for this job. You know, he's still 37 years old. He has a child. He has a second child. He should be thinking about his future. And I think that's something that the Treasurer's Office needs to do, is that financial literacy for all people. How can a person who doesn't do it himself, you know, I have my state pension, I have municipal pensions, I have my own investment portfolio myself that I manage on a regular basis. I've managed pensions for other communities. I believe Rhode Islanders are smart. At the end of the day, it's tough for a Republican to get into office, but I believe that they're going to pick the most qualified person. And that's why I'm running, is I believe in Rhode Islanders and they'll make a good decision.
All right. If I ask you what a derivative is, you can tell me?
Yes.
And if I ask you what puts and calls are, you can tell me.
You.
Now, in fairness to Mayor Diosa, he'll say, look, I have a board. There's a pension advisory board. They meet. They're very smart people. They make a recommendation. And I know how to make a decision because I ran a town. I ran a city.
But that's the problem of too many politicians, is they want to push it off and not take responsibility. True leadership says, I take leadership. I take responsibility for those decisions. The board may make a suggestion, but it's my decision at the end of the day. You know, I sit on the South Kingstown School Trust Fund. It's $23 million. I was appointed last year. I was appointed by 5 Democrats. You know, that goes to say that, you know, again, I'm good at what I do, and people realize that, and they want someone who can manage those type of funds.
A couple of quick yes or no answers. Hedge funds, would you put money in hedge funds?
No.
Would you put money in Bitcoin?
No.
No, not at all. You would have a traditional investment portfolio?
I would not quite traditional. I do believe we need some exposure to real estate and some other items, but pretty much a traditional.
Heavy lift for a Republican to win anything here. And why are you a Republican? You sound pretty middle of the road.
I am middle of the road. I mean, I went to Bryant University. I also went to NYU. That's where I got my master's, pretty liberal school.
Okay.
I believe we have a responsibility for people, but I am a finance guy. Okay. The Treasurer's Office is an elected position, but should not be a political position.
Thanks for coming in. James Lathrop, you're the Republican running for General Treasurer. You'll be running against former Central Falls Mayor James Diosa, the Democrat. Appreciate your time and good luck to you.
Thank you.